Jack, just a quick aside. What was the vibe like at the Democrat convention? Like, what is it? Because you just been to the Republican one. What did it feel like? What did you? I mean, you must have noticed kind of little things, obviously, besides who was on stage. I'm just curious because I don't know anybody that went to both.
It was really interesting. The RNC, just to paint the picture for you, had almost a carnival atmosphere. There were a lot of street events. There were vendors. You would walk around from building to building. And obviously there was the main hall where they had the speeches, but then there was another media center and different groups had different, myself and Charlie Kirk actually rented out this, we had a sort of Turning Point Action sports bar right across the street. And we had a public stage where we were doing events and shows and all sorts of things throughout the event. And my family came and they were playing cornhole. My little boys were there hanging out, having a good time, and just great street traffic, great interviews, really, really positive energy. At the DNC, there was none of that. At the DNC, it was high security. They had the hall, and then the minute you left the hall, this is in Chicago, the minute you left the hall, it was completely secured, fencing up everywhere, and you were told that you had to go on a bus, and the bus would take you to the next place. There were no vendors, there was no street traffic, there was no one walking around. Everything was very, very scripted, very corporate, very controlled. And from television, you could see it looked like a very well put together production, and it certainly was, and it was very streamlined. But when you were there on the ground, you realized it was not organic. It was not organic at all. There was no sense of a grassroots atmosphere. There was no sense of people hanging out and networking. Also, by the way, as another example, at the RNC, if you had a pass to go into the building, if you were approved for that, then you could basically, there were different places people could sit, but you could find a seat, and there were lots of general open spaces where you could just go in and watch the proceedings. At the DNC, all of that was strictly controlled. So there were various levels of entry and various levels of security. So you could have a pass that would let you in the perimeter, but not in the building. Then you could have a pass that would let you in the building, but not within the actual seating area of the building. And then there were various passes as to which level of the seating, and then all the way up and down to the floor. And so again, just highly controlled, highly secure, highly scripted, highly corporate. That is how I viewed the DNC, whereas the RNC was just much more organic and had a lot more life to it.
And do you get dirty looks at the DNC?
Oh yes, absolutely. There was one point where former Attorney General Eric Holder actually crossed past me, and so I was able to get up my phone and kind of get in his face a bit and say, why was it that you didn't vet Tim Walz? So Tim Walz has become the second vice presidential nominee, by the way, in the race. People seem to forget that we've switched candidates in the middle of the race on the Democrat side. The media seems to have forgotten about this, the way they've forgotten about Donald Trump taking a shot to the head in Butler, Pennsylvania on J13. And I asked him why was it that he didn't mention or he didn't vet Tim Walz. Now his firm, Covington and Burling, Eric Holder's, was supposed to be in charge of the vetting for the Democrats, and there's so much just opposition that's come out and opposition research that's come out on Tim Walz. His lies about serving in war, his lies about being a combat veteran, his lies about his rank. I was surprised to even find this was live. Apparently, he even lied about using IVF. It turns out his children are not from IVF, and even though he's been telling people this for quite some time during his political career, which I can't imagine what that feels like to be one of those children and hear your own life be used like that and exploited for politics. So I went up to Eric Holder, and of course he starts screaming and cursing and sends the security after me and all that. And it was very fun. We had a good time.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.